Welcome back. I'm Steve Rand. This is Eric Sapanik, and this is the Gold Spot. Eric, we've been having an awful lot of stuff coming out of our marketing department lately, helping people kind of get a lot of the news that they might not be getting elsewhere. We had a report come out earlier in the year that was basically an update or a revival of our petrodollar report that's always evolving, always helping you to be able to get the most current information and updating that as often as possible. There's always new things happening on that front. Then, of course, the central bank digital currency report just came out, which is really good for helping people to understand how this could unfold moving forward. And now we have a new report that's just coming out called Modern Monetary Theory, something we've been talking about a lot, but I want you to kind of explain it a little bit to our people.
Yes, sir. We've definitely been busy this year, and the reports, we've had a lot of great feedback about them. So now we want to talk a little bit more in depth about modern monetary theory, also commonly known as MMT. You've probably heard this talked about a little bit maybe on the news, not a heck of a lot, but definitely here we talked about, especially during COVID when we decided to print all this money and start handing it out for free. To kind of give kind of a quick little summary of what it is, modern monetary theory is a theory that deficits don't matter, that you can have unlimited printing, and that way, if you take money out via taxation, for those that might be making too much of it, that you can balance a budget and just keep going forward, and then more importantly than anything, create 100% employment throughout your nation, and then regardless if they have a job or not, which doesn't make a lot of sense. That's why we're calling the report MMT, the Socialistic Economic Guide for Dummies. So I think you guys might want to check that out. Definitely something that also kind of spitballs into the idea of why would anyone want to buy into this idea? And there is something to be said about the fact that no matter how reckless we have been, our currency still exists. And Steve, maybe you can elaborate on some of the reasons why that might be.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously our currency has been the reserve for a long time and it's been out there, and have other countries have needed to utilize it for things like oil or trades between nations. You know, you don't want countries don't want necessarily use their own currency for major trades because that's not necessarily something that they can use, within their borders. So the US dollar has been the reserve currency and something that's been predominantly used by other countries for years. However, that's being challenged now. The BRICS countries that just added 6 new countries and more than doubled their membership last week. Remember, that's over 40% of the world's population that's going to be involved in this particular alliance. And as their new currency evolves, and from what the Russians have said, potentially gold-backed currency coming from that, that's a huge downside to our currency and what that means for our way of life down the road. So there's not all, it's not all good things when that's coming our way for sure. So a new report comes out on Friday. How do we get it?
Okay, so like always, you can always contact your SBC representative, whoever that might be. They have all been reading it. They have all been finding it very interesting, and they all want to share it. So they'd be happy to help it out. But if you don't know who that is, you can, of course, text us. And if you just text us MMT, happy to send you a digital copy. If you want a physical copy, we can do that as well. Just request that, MMT physical, and we're happy to mail it out to you as well after we contact you, of course. The other way, of course, you can email us or go to our website at sbcgold.com. Happy to share this, and we do want to share this, and we also 100% tell you, share it amongst your friends as well. It's very interesting where this whole entire thing came from. And I think that you're going to find it a very interesting read because some of it just sounds like that's what's going on right now underneath our noses without anyone voting on it. So I definitely think you're going to find that interesting. Steve, if you could end the show for us.
Reach out to us soon. Get any one of our reports, including the new MMT report, and we'll see you next time on the Gold Spot.